Should the Spurs foul? Should Miami go for the three right away? Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound, Bosch. Back out to...
What if? What if this was different? The Heat are down one game in the most pivotal game of their lives. Heat down through 20 seconds on the clock. Wait, what? They take out the best power forward of all time for a bench player who's a better perimeter defender and an okay rebounder? Let me tell you how this changes history forever. LeBron misses, Bosch gets a rebound, he passes it to Ray, he drills it. The most clutch shot in history. The Spurs were thinking defending the three and not necessarily just getting rebounds. Let me show you just how much differently our world would have turned into. Now say this was different, and they didn't make the decision to take him out. This is where it ends for the Heat. Duncan gets a rebound, Spurs win in 6. Now what if this happened? LeBron considered leaving the Heat if they had lost. He could have gone back home to Cleveland or somewhere else. Yes, LeBron thought about the Lakers. I've found the answer if this happened. He would play with Kobe, who was putting up 23 points a game, and LeBron putting up 27 a night. Now, the first things that come to your mind is a Kobe and Shaq rerun, two Titans together. LeBron and Kobe have been teammates before. LeBron has seen Kobe's mentality and would even get up with Kobe at 5:30 every morning on Team USA. Now that we got that out of the way, how in the world could the Lakers, with an all-time GOAT, afford the best player in the world? If the Lakers waived Steve Nash, Pau Gasol, maybe a small contract player like Kendall Marshall, who only had a 4-year career, this could make way for LeBron to sign a max contract with the Lakers. Two old, great NBA players. Don't you think losing them would cause a difference? No, not at all. This would be Steve Nash's last year anyway. And yes, Pau was good, but not as good as Bron. The players that would fill their roles would be Jordan Clarkson and Julius Randle. Julius Randle, a 3-time All-Star, and Jordan Clarkson, who would average 20 points a game one time in his career. If this is not a super team in the making, I don't know what is. The only problem is that Jordan and Julius need time to develop before Kobe leaves, which would need to happen quickly. Maybe Kobe would stay for a year or two. He could have then been determined the GOAT, passing Kareem before LeBron. Now what about that Anthony Davis trade? This would still happen. If Julius and Jordan Clarkson don't get traded, the Lakers, they would rule and control the 2000s and the whole next decade. Okay, so we talked about LeBron and the Lakers. What about the rest of the league? Now, one of the biggest questions, would the Spurs win the year later after the anger and revenge of losing the past year? They wouldn't be angered to win through rage and getting vengeance, though. They still would have determination to win again, as every good team in the league would. So, if LeBron is on the Lakers, would the Heat still beat a very young Paul George? No, not to my knowledge they would win. The game was pushed to 6 with LeBron. The Spurs would still be great, and Kawhi would have been way more developed. Now, about Kawhi. Kawhi has 2 rings and 2 Finals MVPs, a very impressive feat. What about that second ring and Finals MVP? Would Kawhi ever leave if he had 2 rings before Toronto? If they still have LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar isn't traded, then they have veterans and new players. Would they still try to draft Wemby? It definitely would be possible, but could you imagine Wemby and Kawhi on the same team? And have Derek White, who today is a good role player? Oh, and the point guard. I believe that this team would win many championships in the future. Only if Kawhi doesn't get injured, as always.
Won't go. Rebound taken by Iguodala. They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang!
What about the dynasty of the Warriors? If we take out Kawhi in 2019 and LeBron being on the Lakers, maybe every year being the greatest conference finals of all time, just so they get to the finals and beat whoever comes in their way? Could the Warriors still win without KD? Then say OKC would never break up. How good would the Western Conference be? With LeBron and Kobe, Steph's Warriors, the OKC trio, Kawhi staying with the Spurs, Lob City, and Dirk. The East wouldn't even come close to the same level of talent. DeMar on Toronto, Paul George carrying the Pacers, Kyrie would never have left the Cavs to not be in the shadow of a player that never returned home. The whole East would just be a carry job. Until many years later, Boston and Milwaukee arrived. It would be a dogfight in the West, all competing for titles. With the competition, Kobe would want to stay and keep competing to become the GOAT. How many players would move and leave their teams? Where drafts would be? What teams would rise today? Who would be on essential teams? Hundreds of players would shape the NBA into what it is today. Because of LeBron, the Warriors won't win the finals every year. This could change how the game is played, based off a team of that shot, to prove how successful it can become.
Chris Bosh with the huge offensive rebound.
To think all of this was because of one rebound and one decision. There were several key moments that could have changed. Kawhi makes a free throw or Manu makes a free throw. I would have chosen that, but we all know a rebound for an almost 7-footer is easy, compared to a single, very pressed free throw in a away arena. Offensive rebounds are rare, not when a shooting guard is boxing you out. Okay, let's just say Tim Duncan wasn't taken out. He boxes out Chris and gets the rebound. The Heat have run out of chances. This is the closest true I can get to this world. One singular rebound caused all of this to happen. This is a perfect example of the butterfly effect. This is how one stat line for a top 5 rebounder of all time changed the NBA forever because of a single rebound. Subscribe.